Hi, it's Maria. I thought I'd come on today because I wanted to kind of commemorate the 12/12 experience. I don't know if many of you remember 12/12, 2012, but it was a red letter day for much of the planet. It was kind of the beginning of the darkness that wasn't going to be able to escape our consciousness. And so here we are today at 12/12/21, which is kind of the inverse of that. And to me, that commemorates a day where the darkness is abating, you know? And so anyway, it's a tough one for me today, and it's a tough one for many of us that are very sensitive to the energies. It's tough because it hurts our heart. We have been in spiritual warfare, and we've been deep within it, whether we knew it or not. We just felt it, energetically. A lot of us have had a lot of health problems as a result, and a lot of sadness and just kind of confusion as to why we're bombarded by so much negativity at various points, over the last, the last 9 years. But anyway, because it hurts our soul. The planet has been steeped in darkness, and we kind of go round and round, and the darkness has infiltrated our families, and it's infiltrated our neighbors and our coworkers and our own being, And so the darkness is the opposite of light and love and goodness and kindness and generosity and all the warm and fuzzies, that we want to embrace. And that's what we want to surround ourselves with, the happiness in life. And yet there has been so much darkness, there's been doom and gloom and yuck and cold prickles. I just want to check the volume. Thank you. Just bear with me a moment. Because yesterday's, I didn't have the volume up. Anyway, so yeah, we've had like the cold pricklies. Remember that from kindergarten or first grade or whatever. And so we've had like sick feelings in our tummies because and kind of the energy squeezed out of our chest because we haven't felt comforted. We haven't felt like we were in a secure place. We were wondering, what's the dark doing? But really, what are we afraid of? There's nothing to be afraid of. What's holding us back? What's holding us hostage from becoming our best selves? What was strangulating us and suffocating us and limiting us? And really, it was self-limiting behaviors, because there is nothing outside of ourselves. It's all within, and regardless of what's going on, whether we live in a war-torn country or we live in paradise, it's nothing outside of us that can affect us. Only we control how we perceive things in our lives. And so the day of 12/12/2012, yes, darkness was rampant in our society, and there were issues within the court system, within the justice system, within the social system, within the religious communities. Nothing really seemed to escape it. Think of all the abused children and the crimes against humanity and the stolen money. And you know what they say about stolen money? All you have to do is just follow the money and you'll see where the crimes are. And so there was darkness everywhere, and we were drowning in it. And there were so many unhealed aspects of ourself. And really, when we look around and we see the injustice in the world, it's merely a reflection of the darkness within ourselves. And so it's really important that we recognize that, and we keep that at the forefront of our minds, because there is nothing outside of us. It's all within, and it's all how we perceive the world around us, whether we allow it to affect us or whether we are able to rise above it. Anyway, today, as I kind of was in a very reflective mood, and I was thinking about my own story, and the yucky part of it, and how the government agencies within our country are beautiful, United States of America, how they kind of hung me out to dry. But they didn't just hang me out. I'm just one person here. I am just an example of the collective. And so our country has been steeped in darkness. And so when we realize that the agencies that are here to protect us really don't give a damn, it creates a lot of heartache for us, because we think, oh my gosh, this is what I trust. In God we trust, but in God we trust, but in the physical reality, it's a little more difficult to trust, because that's not God. I mean, on one level it is, but on another level it isn't. And so, the red tape is kind of wrapped in beautiful red bows, and it's a lot of red tape, right? So it's red packaging. But really down to the nitty gritty, what is it? There's perjury, there's forgery, there's theft and defamation and bullshit. Yeah, and stealing and in my case, changing locks to my home and just taking everything and having thugs stand at the door, where I knew if I said, hey, excuse me, but this is my home, and they'd say, oh, well, you're being unruly and we're going to have to take you to jail. So I just said, okay, forget it. I'm not playing this game. And so, I wrote Washington, I wrote the governors, I wrote the government, I wrote the senators, the representatives, the mayors, the police, the news, the TV stations, the House of Representatives, the journalists, the news reporters, the public agencies, attorneys, legal aid, and nothing. Despite all the wonderful resources that we have in place, when it really comes down to us, what is it they do? I certainly have not been able to find anything that anyone would really step up to the plate. They kind of send you to someone else. They say, oh, well, contact them, and then contact the police, and the police say, oh, it's a civil issue, and then the other one says, no, it's really a criminal issue, and so everybody just kind of passes you off, But that was kind of the way it was supposed to be from 2012 to 2021. There was so much darkness out there, and no one wanted to take responsibility. And so there were avenues in place, but really, who gets the attention? What gets in, what gets out and what doesn't? It's a filtered system. The real news is not popular. Fake news is very popular, The real nitty gritty that affects people kind of is suppressed for the drama instead of the manipulative aspects of what gets highlighted and what doesn't. Justice is crafted. Injustice engulfs us all, but justice is crafted. And so, that's just the way it is. And that's just kind of the energy of the planet at the time that we've all been through. I watched my mother and my father be killed, and they were killed a year apart, and it was for their money. And not one attorney did anything, and the police didn't want to do anything, and elder care and nothing, And so it was horrific, really. And so then I went to Brazil to pray, and I thought about that, and I thought, I remember hearing about the Menendez brothers. Remember them? Well, the Menendez brothers, I guess, from Greece, ended up murdering their parents, and it made front page news and stuff. I don't know what happened to them. I think that they were actually incarcerated, and they may still be in jail. But they were like soulless boys that just wanted their inheritance. And it was vile, and they were entitled. They felt entitled, and so they felt that they could commit crimes. And so after that, I talked to a lot of families whose parents, a lot of children whose parents were murdered. And, it's not all that uncommon, which is just a horrific statement on our society. And it's for money. And, lives are mysteriously lost. Food is poisoned. That's a big one. And people don't really realize that. But there is so much poisoning in food. And it's how we poison rodents and we poison insects and stuff. Well, really dark individuals poison their family members. And it's a tough pill to swallow, because you or I wouldn't. It's not on our radar screen. Oh my God. It's just like the most horrific thing you've ever thought of. But it happens. And we think, well, where is the love? How can these people do such horrible things? This is like so disgusting. I can't even imagine such a thing, right? And yet people put on a front and they put on a show and but you know what? People have lost touch with God, and they feel like they don't have to they have no accountability, no conscience, and that because they don't see the ramifications of their behaviors, they think there is no retribution, and yet they couldn't be further from the truth, because karma is real. And whether you want to call it karma or not, or you want to talk about physics and you want to talk about energy, we are here to be our best selves. We are given a position on this planet to shine, to overcome our darkness, to overcome whatever type of ancestral and generational wounds that we carry. And so this is the time on planet Earth to shine, to sparkle, and to become our very best selves, and to show kindness to others, to love, and to show compassion, and to be generous, and to all the wonderful things, that all the wonderful attributes that human beings can embody. And so just remember who you are, and don't think about the darkness. And the reason why I mentioned the Menendez brothers, oh God, or my horrific sister and what she did to her parents, that's on her. I have no control over that. And I couldn't do that in a million years. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that kind of stuff. That energy is just too dark for me. And too dark for you too. Otherwise you wouldn't be watching this. But, all we can do is just know who we really are, because there are challenges to overcome, of course. That's why we're here. It's not just, all sunshine and roses and everything wonderful. We can effectuate change in the world, We're not sheep led to slaughter. We're here to gallop in the wind. How about that? Doesn't that sound fun? Yeah. And so we are here to be brave and stand in our truth. And everything we need is found within. It's found within, deep within our heart and deep within our soul. And we can't be clouded to believe in that there's anything dark out there, because we know that we can overcome it. And the one thing that is really, really crucial to remember is that the darkness we see out in the world is really the darkness that humanity holds within themselves. And so when we are able to overcome that as a collective, then we will be able to overcome that, as individual human beings. And that's what we're working on. It's about raising the collective vibration so that all human beings are able to rise above the darkness and to embody the love and the kindness and the generosity and the beauty and all the wonderful things that is available, all the wonderful things that are available to us while we take up space on this beautiful planet of ours, and to be strong and to embody, to know that we have that divine spark. Isn't that amazing? Because, many of us as we grew up, we didn't really think that there was a divine spark deep in our heart that was burning bright, that we had that essence of divinity, that we were a part of God. I mean, we just thought we were, little girls out there or little boys out there. But when we really think about who we really are on a soul level and how we have been gifted with this magical spark within us, I mean, how can we not love ourselves, right? How can we not love each other? How can we not feel so very blessed to be on this planet at this point in time? We're here for a reason, it's all about being good, being goodness, embodying the goodness and the truth and the kindness, and the compassion and the loyalty, and to raise our vibration and to raise the vibration of the planet. And here we are on 12/12/21, having gotten through all those years since 12/12/12, where the darkness was starting to bubble up and we had to deal with it all these years. And it's been a tough decade, really, hasn't it? I certainly think so. But we don't have to accept it anymore because it's over. And we can rise above it. We are to rise above it, and we know better, and we can do better, and because we are better. And so I ask you to think about how you can, every day be an example of your very best self, because that's who you are. That's why you're here. In every moment of every day, see yourself showered in blessings and sparkles and love and kindness and miracles. Remember who you are as a soul, and because that's the real you. And so if you take nothing away from this message, I just wanted to remind you that, yay, we've done it. We got through 12/12 and 12/13 and 12/14 and 12/15, and here we are, 12/21, and we've made great strides in becoming better versions of ourselves. And so I shower you with all the wonderful blessings of this, earthly experience on planet Earth. And so anyway, it was just a good, warm, fuzzy feeling I had, and I wanted you to feel that way. And so as you climb into bed tonight and hug your pillow and, and just sit back and think about, how special you are and how you've gotten through so very, very much. And so anyway, I just wanted to tell you that I appreciate you and I love you and I thank you for tuning in. And until next time. So anyway, oops. I'm getting carried away. This is really awesome. I love you. Bye. Let's see, what did I do?